Are you on, Charlotte?
So, 3B?
3B.
B.
Yeah.
You're good with that, right?
That's kind of an interesting way to ask somebody. Remember that one, Ron. Might coin that one.
Notice I waited for him to leave the room, so.
Yeah, so there wouldn't be any, oh, okay.
So when he's breaking any of the rules.
You're the
He comes in and
master.
I say, well, I'm good with one.
Following the rules.
I
I
usually,
appreciate it.
He and Keith Farrell fit good together. I got to laughing last night when I was watching him, because I could just remember him. He got into, it was Mark Miller. He got into an argument with him about something, and they came down to the office, and he goes, I'll let Mr. Millis tell what he has to tell, but then I'm going to tell you, he's not following the rules. You know? I got a lot of kids in the Columbus Police. Every once in a while, I see somebody I had in school, so a lot of our kids went that way. Okay. I'm going to use your line. Yeah, are you good with that?
What?
On the sheet?
What about A?
Are you good with that?
What?
What?
He didn't fall for it like I would fall for it with Ron. Ron asked
I'm
if I
more
was
than
good with
willing to
me.
give it up to anyone that wants it.
Didn't see any of us tripping over each other.
I knew where you were headed. I just was trying to play.
That's why you,
I fell into his.
that's why you get paid the big money.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what.
Lee, did you ever get your agenda in the mail?
No.
Oh, I did finally. I think I texted you, I
No,
finally got
that one was the day after the meeting before it came.
Wow.
So, yeah, Pickerington's post office is terrible.
It's horrible.
Really? I thought they were
horrible.
better than you, sir.
Best one.
We're getting mail at 7 o'clock at night now.
So,
That's when we get our mail.
they've had so many people out with COVID.
Well, ours is the problem, Heron Bay, or Heron, whatever it is, right next to the school there on Refugee. Our postman has to do that whole development now, plus Huntington Hills. So there's 400 homes where I live, and there'll be 400 when that's done over there, but there's probably about 250 over there now.
Do we have Gary or Charlotte?
We have Gary.
Yes, I'm here.
Gary, okay.
Hey, Charlotte, you're muted.
Charlotte? Oh, good, okay. Well, before we start the meeting today, I have this resolution that Gary, your Associated Eastland board members gave to me. And it's a resolution of accommodation. And I'm going to read it for you, if that's all right.
Well, they sent me one, but I appreciate that.
Okay. Well, whereas Mr. Gary Bartlett has shared his vision and passion for education and has demonstrated admirable commitment to his community for serving on the Eastland Fairfield Career Technical Schools Board of Ed for 8 years from 2013 to 2020, while also serving on the Fairfield County Educational Service Center. And whereas Mr. Bartlett and his fellow board members were committed to ensuring a culture of collaboration and support for the district and strong program offerings, including satellite program to ensure that Eastland Fairfield students are ready for a successful career and/or post-secondary education. And whereas Mr. Bartlett gave careful and deliberate financial guidance to the Eastland Fairfield District in order to assure that the district operates in a cost-effective and efficient manner. And whereas Mr. Bartlett has provided continuous support for our adult workforce program, including the renovation of spaces at Eastland Career Center for the Adult HVAC program and customized training for the Ohio State University, and recent support for the planning of engineering technologies building on the Eastland campus. And whereas Mr. Bartlett also planned and supported various infrastructure work of the facilities that include but not limited to electrical upgrades and partial roof replacement at Eastland Career Center, HVAC improvements at Eastland and Fairfield Career Centers, replacement of IT infrastructure for the district, and whereas Mr. Bartlett supported a renovation of the cafeteria and culinary academy kitchen and instructional space, the planning of a skilled trades facility on the Fairfield Career Center campus, and whereas the Board of Education of Eastland Fairfield Career and Technical Schools does hereby express its warm appreciation and heartfelt thanks for Mr. Gary Bartlett's dedication, commitment, and service in the performance of his duties and to the students of this district. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this public acclaim be given to Mr. Bartlett for his leadership of the district, and be it further resolved that Mr. Bartlett shall be recognized appropriately, and that a copy of this resolution be included in the permanent minutes of this board, and the board wishes Mr. Gary Bartlett continued happiness and success in his future endeavors. That was from the December 16th Eastland Fairfield Career Center's Board of Education. Gary, one of the things that I know that you contributed while I was on the board with you, you were always helpful when they were working about the gas lines on the Fairfield Career Center area, and also always available to help, especially Bonnie if she had questions in regards to property management or property renovation. So I know personally that you were very helpful to that board.
Well, thank you. I was actually, when I got that, I was actually shocked. I'd forgotten some of the things that they've got done in the last 8 years, but they've really done a lot. And
yes, they have.
So.
No question. All right. Well, having said that, I want to call our meeting to order. And first off, we have a pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence. And today, Mary, would you lead us off, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of
America,
to the
to the
republic
republic for which it calls
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Followed by a moment of silence. Thank you. All right. First items on our agenda as President Pro Tem is nomination for governing board. We need a nomination and a second.
Point of order, roll call.
Oh, sorry. I really want to move today, don't I? Roll call.
Mr. Bartlett,
Here.
Mr. Fowler,
Present.
Ms. Owens,
Here.
Ms. Pierce,
Here.
Mr. Seaman.
Here. All right, we'll try this again. Thank you, Ron. With the reorganization, we need nomination for governing board president, followed by a second.
I nominate Lou Steeman.
I second.
We have a nomination by Mrs. Pierce and a second by several. I don't know which one came first.
I'll say Gary Bartlett.
Okay. Any other nominations? Just saying, I'm more than willing to give this up if somebody wants it.
You're doing a good job, Lou.
All right. We have the
Great
motion.
job, Lou. Thank you.
Thank you guys for your faith in me. Just remember, though, I forgot roll call a minute ago.
But we got Ron for that, so thank you, Ron.
Yeah, I thank all of you guys, 'cause together, working as a board, we do very well together. All right, so we have the nomination, we have the second, and we'll do roll call, please.
Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Mr. Fowler,
Technically, point of order again, we have to close the nominations.
That's what I was
Oh,
thinking, and
it
I didn't
doesn't-
say that, because I didn't.
I do move to close the nominations.
I second
Okay.
what Ron said.
So we have closing of the nominations, second. I'm sorry, when I'm looking at the script, it doesn't quite have that there, so good. All right, let's try roll call now.
Okay. Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Mr. Fowler,
Yes.
Ms. Owens,
Yes.
Ms. Pierce,
Yes.
Mr. Seaman.
Abstain. The next thing is nomination for governing board vice president. We'll need a nomination and a second.
I nominate Mary.
I second.
We have the recommendation for Mary
Thank you,
Pierce
but
from
anybody else
Gary,
can do it wants to.
Gary Bartlett and Charlotte Owens. Do we have any other nominations? Do I have a motion to close nominations? So moved by Mr. Fowler. And a
Second.
second? Seconded by Mr. Bartlett. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bartlett,
Yes.
Mr. Fowler,
Yes.
Ms. Owens,
Yes.
Ms. Pierce,
Abstain.
Mr. Seaman.
Yes. All right, next thing on the agenda is the, dealing with the oath of office. And then we'll set the date. So we need to read.
Yes. Yeah, let's do it in unison. I think, do we raise our right hand? Okay, raise your right hand, repeat after me. I
I,
Harold
Mary
Wilson Jr.
do solemnly
We
swear or
to affirm
affirm
that
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties as Vice President of and for the said Fairfield County Educational Service Center Governing Board, with the laws now in effect and hereafter to be enacted during my continuance in said office until my successor is chosen and qualified.
All right.
So please fill out with your name and sign it. If you all wouldn't mind after this, if we could do the board member code of ethics as well. Yeah, for everyone.
These two.
So every year at the organizational meeting, I state the board member code of ethics, and I apologize, I don't have copies for everyone, and two of you are remote, so I'm going to read them. And I'll get everyone here present signature, and we'll leave this up at Courtney's desk to get Gary and Charlotte's signature whenever you have a chance to stop by.
Okay.
So the code of ethics is the board believes public education should be conducted in an ethical manner. In addition to Ohio law, the conduct of board members should conform to the code of ethics recommended by the Ohio School Board Association, which includes the following. It is unethical for a board member to seek special privilege for personal gain, personally assume unauthorized authority, criticize employees publicly, disclose confidential information, place the interest of one group or community above the interest of the entire ESD, withhold facts from the superintendent, particularly about the incompetency of an employee, or announce future action before the proposition has been discussed by the board. So again, I'll pass this around for signature in here, and then Gary and Charlotte, whenever you may have a chance, Courtney will have that at her desk.
All right, thanks.
Okay. While that's being passed around, the next item on the agenda, letter D, we need a motion and a second to establish dates and times of the Fairfield County Educational Service Center Governing Board meetings as blank further to meet in the Governing Board conference room at the ESC.
So
What's
moved.
everybody's pleasure? Stay as is, Tuesdays, usually the 4th in the morning. Does that
Yeah,
still work
I'd
with
say-
everyone?
Yep.
Charlotte, work with you?
Yes, certainly this semester.
Okay.
Can I make a suggestion that the November and the December be the third? No, for November, it could be the third Tuesday, in December, the second Tuesday, to avoid the holiday week. So it would be November 16th and December 14th.
Otherwise, it'd be the fourth.
Fourth Tuesday.
Okay. Did everybody catch that? That the fourth Tuesday, with the exceptions of November, would be November 16th, and December would be the second Tuesday, which is the 14th.
Yeah, that's
Everybody
fine with me.
got that? Okay. So I need a motion and a second to approve those.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Pierce,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Bartlett. Any additional discussion on dates and times? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Bartlett?
Yes.
Mr. Fowler?
Yes.
Ms. Owens?
Yes.
Here?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes. Okay, the next item on our agenda deals with superintendent authorizations and treasurer authorizations. There are also several on the second page of our agenda that deal with both the treasurer and the superintendent together. We need a motion and a second, and followed by any discussion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Bartlett, second. I need. Second by Ms. Owens. Any questions on those authorizations? The same list we probably have had in recent years, okay. Hearing no discussion, roll call.
Mr. Bartlett?
Yes.
Mr. Fowler?
Yes.
Ms. Owens?
Yes.
Here?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes. We are now down to regular items. I need a motion and a second to approve the following, which is approval of the agenda for today, and this would be after the organizational meeting.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Pierce,
Second.
second by Ms. Owens. Any discussion on the agenda? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Bartlett?
Yes.
Mr. Fowler?
Yes.
Ms. Owens?
Yes.
Ms. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes. Next item is public participation. As always, we welcome the public, but
Did the cat?
nobody with us today.
Charlotte's cat's been roaming around. I don't know if, he has anything to say.
Oh, we didn't know
You
that.
didn't see it? It was like crawling over. Is your cat interested in being in the public? She
Charlotte,
doesn't hear me.
Oh,
we see your cat running around.
yes. Well, right now she's on my shins, so, not on my lap, so.
Well, she's the most furious, closest thing for participation today, so, and we enjoyed the cat. So new business, we need a motion and a second to appoint the treasurer as the public records training designee for the Fairfield County Educational Service Center Governing Board. So I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Mm-hmm.
Moved by Mr. Fowler.
Second.
I'll second it. Oh, take whichever one.
Charlotte Owens, second.
All right. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Bartlett?
Yes.
Mr. Fowler?
Yes.
Ms. Owens?
Yes.
Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Steen?
Yes. Additional items of business as needed. I do have one thing to talk about, but we'll wait till after we get through the reports. So we can move on to reports. Marie?
Two items I wanted to report on. There'll be a lengthier update at the next board meeting. One is in preparation for my evaluation coming up at the end of the month. I will, since three or two of you are remote, I'm going to just go ahead and electronically send to you my progress report on last year's goals and this year's goals, so you all have it electronically. Does that serve you all well? Okay,
Yeah,
and then I want to give you an update on where we're at
In case I had the ability to
with
pass it on.
COVID and the work that we have been doing in collaboration with the EMA and the health department. So we have continued to meet weekly. We're now at a point in time where you've probably heard the governor report his priority list in terms of when educators have access to the vaccine. So by Friday, we should have finalized a survey that's I work Friday and this weekend with the EMA and the health department to begin to craft that. We will send that out to all the public school employees in Fairfield County. They will have the option of indicating whether they want to take the vaccine or not. There's some other questions relative to information the health department needs to prioritize within the category of educators who will get called first. And they will be the ones to communicate with employees to provide them with a link when it's their turn to go in and schedule which time slot they want. So we're working on doing this in a very organized, equitable, streamlined manner that will avoid what you've seen on the news with people standing and sitting or in cars for hours waiting for their opportunity. The greatest challenge we're facing right now in this county, and it's actually an issue across Ohio and a lot of parts of the United States, is that though the governor's schedule, for example, at this point in time, would indicate that we have about 2,500 vaccines that need to be completed in the county before educators have their go. We're in the slot with the 75-year-olds right now. The problem is they're only getting a trickling in of vaccine doses. So we're only getting about 100 to 200 doses a week. The only vaccine that we've had access to so far in this county is the Moderna. And we are working at the state level to try to figure out how we can get accurate information to know when we're getting more doses. So we're going to complete our planning process and getting the systems in place so that when the trigger gets pulled and it's time for us to go, we'll go. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's been a lot of news about the vaccine, and I just wanted to let you know that we have been very proactive in trying to work collaboratively at the county level. The extent to which we can get people vaccinated is the extent to which we can fully open back up again. But statewide, they're seeing only about, depending on where you're at in the state, 40 to 60% of people even being interested in getting the vaccine. So we've talked through that. If a teacher or an educator decides they don't want access to the early access to the vaccine, which is essentially what we're doing, is jumping in line over the general public, they will still, down the road, have the opportunity to jump in line when they would have, as a regular citizen, been able to have access to the vaccine. So it's not a take the vaccine now or you never have access. And I think that is the most fair way to do it and really give respect to people to make their personal decisions about what they need to do. What's also really important in terms of an update is on December 31st, the special piece of legislation that extended FMLA leave for COVID, which provided 10 days of leave to either be quarantined or sick without that hitting your sick bank, has now gone away. That has sunsetted, and there is no replacement piece of legislation. And so, in communication with the district, I think everybody's in the same place of, we will continue to follow our existing leave policies. And unless there's more information that would lead us to come back to you to ask for a recommendation for an exception, that is how we're planning to proceed at this point in time. Any questions on that?
Any questions for Marie?
No.
Okay, that is all I have for today.
Anything from Eastland Fairfield?
Career Connections agreements were set up with Amanda Clear Creek and Bloom Carroll, and satellite program agreements were set up for cybersecurity at New Albany, firefighting at Canal Winchester, and the construction project is still on schedule, but there have been change orders virtually every month.
Is firefighting a new?
Yes.
It's a new program.
Okay.
Madison Township and, is behind the whole thing.
Oh, good. No, that's admirable. Great. The thing that I wanted to mention is, under additional reports, is we have the evaluations of Marie and Laura coming up. Laura sent out the forms via email to each of us back in December. And Laura, correct me if I'm wrong, Laura's going to be out for a period here in January, which makes it a little bit harder to do her evaluation this month. Wondered if we could do Marie's on the 26th and then do Laura's when we meet in February, if that's acceptable or not.
Okay. No problem.
That acceptable to everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Could I ask, could you resend those evaluations? I must have missed those.
I can forward them again.
That'd
Yeah,
be great.
if you would, please.
What I would ask is, at least on Marie's, if I could have those emailed to me no later than Friday, January the 22nd. That gives me the weekend to pull it together. And unless somebody wants it done in a different way, you guys have seen how it's been done in the past. It's compiling everyone's comments into one final evaluation, which is what I would do again. So unless there's any concerns with that, and if there are, please let me know, whether it's now or when you send it to me. Are we good with all that?
Yep.
Yep.
Good, good. All right. Any additional questions or comments today from anyone?
Just a question. Where are we at with the districts? Back to school, virtual, blended, throughout the county?
Good question. So by the time we get back from, on Tuesday, when we get back to school, we will have LU still blended or still hybrid, Lancaster City School still hybrid, Pickerington Local School still hybrid, Amanda Clear Creek, Fairfield Union, Bern Union, and Walnut Township are all going to, and Bloom Carroll are all going to try to be back in 5 days, with Fairfield Union takes Fridays off to help their teachers to support the remote learners, and Bloom Carroll and Amanda Clear Creek have early releases so that teachers can support remote learners. But if you like, I can begin to send to you weekly the status of the districts, because I make that report to the Ohio Department of Education every Tuesday afternoon.
Oh,
So if you would like that information, I can share that with you. I will let you know that it's not unusual that in the midst of a week, I've done a report and things might change because we have a cluster in a classroom, or we have something that's unique going on that doesn't change the district-wide plan, but might impact a classroom or a set of classrooms. Does that make sense?
Yeah, oh yeah, I don't need a report, you know, on a regular basis. I was just curious because it seems like in recent weeks, it's not being reported on the news where we're at. All I heard was the governor asked that schools not start back, but so.
Right. I think that some districts across the state took his advice prior to the Christmas break to delay coming back from face-to-face until after the holiday on Monday. And he also made a comment about, you know, this whole conversation about vaccine access first for those districts willing to go back to face-to-face. Well, we've never had all of our districts out in terms of not having any face-to-face. I mean, we've had times when that's happened, but that's not been, we've never had a policy like Columbus City Schools where those children have not been in the classroom yet this year. They've been remote the entire year. That is really the primary concern of the governor right now. And the motivation of the superintendents in this county is that if we can support, with the data, the rationalization to bring kids back all day, every day, that's what they're working toward. We did receive updated guidance in terms of the quarantining rule. So it's sort of been this progression from 14 days of mandated quarantine for anybody who was spent more than 15 minutes within 6 feet with or without a mask on, to people who were sick have to continue to be quarantined for 14 days, but if you're a contact who's been within 6 feet for more than 15 minutes, with or without a mask on, we were then allowed to either accept a negative COVID test after day 7 or quarantine for 10 days. Okay, so we shortened it. We just received the latest guidance, which changes it to more than 3 feet away with a mask on for whatever period of time. They don't have to quarantine now. This does not apply to athletics, and we're waiting for, they didn't consider preschool and after-school programs when they set that new guidance out, and we're awaiting this week for the inclusion of those two groups. So there were pilot studies that were done in the state. Probably the district that was closest that was involved in that pilot was Whitehall City Schools. And essentially what they did was they collected data to track if they used the latter or the latest guidance as their rule for quarantining, was there an increase in the number or the infection rate, the spread of the virus? And they found that there wasn't. that it essentially reinforced that schools are doing a good job of making sure kids follow the rules. We actually don't have issues with kids. This week, our entire issues have been with adults not wearing masks regularly, to be honest, it's not been the kids. And that the spread of COVID, we believe, is occurring outside of the school building on people's time, which we can't believe. And that we also believe that it's safer for the kids to probably be in school than unsupervised, not engaging in safe practices and outside of school. So that's where we're at currently. We're really happy with that updated guidance, and that is what all the districts have decided to follow.
Any additional questions for Marie about the COVID status?
Did they cancel winter sports?
That's been allowed to be a local decision.
Okay.
Columbus City Schools did, but they have a special board meeting tonight at, I think, 6:30 to put that back on the table. But for now, it's not been canceled, but they still have to follow rules. And I do believe most of the districts have eliminated spectators. That the kids are allowed to compete, but there isn't going to be a crowd.
And there's some games that get canceled just because they don't have enough kids to play.
Yeah, it's just
Chris
that.
took his Fairfield Union team to Bishop Reedy, and they got there and they didn't have enough kids at Bishop Reedy to play.
Right, so it just depends, and it's just what you've seen in terms of college athletics
Same
as well,
thing,
and national, it's just, you know, where are they at in terms of the infection rate and quarantine status and whether they can play or not. So it's, every day is a new.
Any additional questions? Good discussion, good, thank you for sharing, Marie. I'll go around, and see if there's anything else. Charlotte?
Okay, I'm way out of order. Did we, are our meeting scheduled, Laura, for whatever you need for approval by whatever, mid-July or anything?
Those can all be approved at the July meeting, if you're talking about my appropriation for the next fiscal year.
Okay, so it's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have anything. Thank you.
Gary?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Ron?
No, thanks.
Mary, I'm sorry.
No.
All right. I need a motion and a second for adjournment.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Bartlett,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Fowler. Discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Bartlett?
Yes.
Mr. Fowler?
Yes.
Ms. Owen?
Yes.
Ms. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes. Everybody have a good couple weeks ahead before we get back together.
You too. Have a good one.
You were talking about the
Stay safe.
county. Fairfield County has
Take
sign
care.
up right now. Because I've signed up as a 75-year-old online, but